Isn't it a disturbing state of affairs in this country that in relation to this disgraceful, damaging energy lunacy being preached by the utterly incompetent and out of his depth Chris Bowen, it surely is more than disturbing to know that in this country you could count on one hand the number of people who are prepared to stand in the public place and call this stupidity for what it is. Many people write, but of course they don't have a voice. So in the public place you can name Senator Matt Canavan, outstanding. In the media space, Terry McCrann, to whom I speak often, Andrew Bolt, who writes courageously for News Limited, and me. The disgraceful, unjustifiable, unaffordable energy policy. And remember, this is to get a 43% reduction in carbon dioxide emissions by 2030. Now remember, my emphatic view, for which you get demonised, vilified and cancelled, is that carbon dioxide, the source of all plant life, is not doing to the planet what is being alleged. But you're not allowed to say that. We do here. Can you believe, though, a sensible person, forget everything else, trying to persuade you that carbon dioxide, which is 0.04% of the atmosphere, is causing all this trouble? Mind you, they've been saying that for more than 20 years. Have a look out the window. Any difference? And remember, only 3% of this carbon dioxide, even if it were a problem, is man-made. Worldwide, 3%. And little old Australia is responsible for 1.3%. Were you any good at maths at school? So we're responsible for 1.3% of 3% of 0.04%. Because of that, we demonise coal and gas and all fossil fuels. Some fools in Canberra and in Macquarie Street, paid for by you, want to stop all coal and gas production. And even yesterday, the New South Wales Treasurer Matt Keane, greener than the Greens, quashed suggestions that the state government could possibly intervene to keep Australia's biggest coal-fired power station, Eraring, open. It provides 25% of New South Wales' energy needs. Premier Perrottet, once a Liberal with common sense, said, quote, "We have our energy roadmap. Intervening in Eraring is not part of our plans." They're all gone stupid. Sensing trouble, Keane had already told the media, "We're not ruling things in or out." But Perrottet soon shut him up. Then you've got the so-called Environment Minister of New South Wales, whom no one's heard of, but his name's James Griffin, likely to lose his seat on March 25 at Manly. He should lose his seat. He described coal-fired power stations, this is this dope yesterday, as an industry, listen to this, as an industry, quote, that everybody wants to shut down as quickly as possible. Everybody. And we're paying this bloke over $200,000 a year. So here we have it, to satisfy Bowen, the arrogant know-all who says, and apparently people fall into line with this stuff, that we must have a 43% reduction in carbon dioxide by 2030. Mind you, they're so dumb, they call it carbon. Go to Dr. Google and see the difference between carbon and carbon dioxide. To get to Bowen's target, and I object to a bloke like Bowen trying to pull the wool over my eyes, he'd never come on this program to suffer a debate. He was once the Shadow Treasurer and came on my program. He had no idea of the marginal tax rates, Shadow Treasurer. You can find it all on YouTube. He was a fool then, and he's a fool now, but he's a dangerous fool now. To get to this 43%, I repeat what I've told you many times. He says we need 22,500 watt solar panels every day for 7 years, 47 megawatt wind turbines every month for 7 years, and 10,000 kilometres of additional transmission lines. And Perrottet and Keane in New South Wales are on side with this rubbish. In fact, Perrottet has agreed to funding $7 billion, B for billion, to connect Snowy Hydro to the grid. Snowy Hydro? I'll talk about that tomorrow. The best thing we could do with Snowy Hydro is to call it off.